Good morning, all. Today I am going to talk about women's health, especially which are more common and important during puberty and reproductive age groups. While both men and women contract various conditions, some health issues affect women differently and more commonly. Women face a range of unique health problems. Awareness of and advocacy for women's health is vital to improve the quality of life and wellness for women. Let me start with the pregnancy related issues. Because women are key in maintaining healthy families, such women should assist the health system more than men, both for themselves and on behalf of the children also and for the children also. Soon, within few years, you are all going to start your families. So, a healthy mother gives birth to a healthy baby. That's why it's very important to maintain the normal hemoglobin level while you conceive. At least 12 grams of hemoglobin should be there because if the mother has a good hemoglobin level, that helps to develop the brain of the child, so the baby's neural and brain development will be good, and such babies also will have good IQ levels. Mostly in India, so many of the women, they will have lesser hemoglobin because they tend to eat less. So what you can do, you take good vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables, because these green leafy vegetables will have good amount of iron and folic acid, which help to increase your blood levels. Other problems what pregnant ladies can face is frequent urinary tract infections, urine infections, because their immunity is little less. So they should be contacting your family doctors or OB/GYN doctors the moment you conceive. And other two conditions which are more common are the pregnancy related diabetes and hypertension. So once you conceive, or when you plan to conceive, it is better to start contacting your family doctor or the OB/GYN doctor and keep discussing all the problems and take their advice. So it's very important to have monthly or once in 2 months consultation with the doctors. And normally in India, we say that after the pregnancy, we should take 3 months of rest. Ideally speaking, it is not important. Even during pregnancy and even after the delivery, it's important to be active. So if you're doing some exercise during your pregnancy, your delivery will be very easy. And if you do little bit of exercise after the delivery, your the pelvic muscles and the back muscles will regain back the strength. Like olden days, they used to say 3 months complete bed rest should be taken. It is not necessary because those days the medical services used to be very far off and crowded houses. So the chances of getting infection is more. That's why to isolate them from getting infected, they used to keep them in a separate room. So now it is better if you do some exercises so that you will gain back your pelvic and back muscle strength. So these are some exercises which you can do after the delivery. You can ask your doctors also, family doctors or OB/GYN doctors also, what are the exercises you can do. If you don't get it, or uh, if you don't remember what they say, you can go to this net and you will get lots of exercises. So these are all some of the exercises which can be done after the delivery, after a few days of the delivery. This is a few yogas which can be done after the delivery. Uh, the post delivery and during the menopause, when the menstruation stops, during that period, uh, the women also get some depression also. So it's common. So in such cases, you don't have to get worried about that, because this will go off after some time. If there is any problem, you can contact the doctors. The next problem which females normally face is HPV viral infection. HPV means human papilloma virus infection. It is the most common sexually transmitted diseases. It is more common in those who have more than one sexual partners, or we call it as multiple sexual partners, or those who start their sexual activity at a very young age. Usually, this infection causes no symptoms and resolve on its own, but in some cases it can lead to some what or cervical, it can lead to cervical cancer also. There is a screening program in that, what is called as cervical screening program. In that the doctor will take some cells using a brush, and the cells are studied under the microscope to see whether there is any cancer changes. So you should get checked every 5 years. If not, if that is not possible, at least once, 2 to 3 times in lifetime, and one around 30 years after your first delivery, and after that once in 5 years or 10 years you can get it done. So this is a normal cervix. This is cervix means the neck part of the baby bag or the uterus vehicle. This is a uterus where there is a baby is grown. So this is a neck part of the uterus. So when this part gets infected with the human papilloma virus, you can have like this cervical cancer. So this is advanced cervical cancer. Here what you can see, this is a normal one. So what the doctor will do, they will use brush like this, and they will take some cells from this area, and it is studied under the microscope to see whether there is any cancerous changes. So this test is also called as Pap test or cervical cancer screening test or cervical smear. So it is important for every woman at least to get this done at least 2 or 3 times in lifetime. Moving on, the third is the breast cancer. It's very common cancer in women. The most common cancer in women is the breast cancer in women. Around 500,000 of women die due to breast cancer each year, and awareness about early detection can be life saving. It's very important to do the self-examination of the breast for every woman monthly. So usually this self-examination is done 5 to 6 days or 1 week after the menstruation. At least 3 to 4 days after the complete stoppage of the menstruation, you should do it. So this picture shows the various types of self breast examination. So you have to lay down and check your breast with the fingers, with all the fingers, or standing and checking. Lift your arm and check it, and hold your hands on the waist and check whether there is any change in the sizes, or if there is any secretion from the nipple, or if the nipple is retracted. The retracted means going inside. So all these things you should be checking. So when you check this one, you will get to know if there is any ball like appearance within the breast. Then immediately you should go and talk to the doctor. If you have family history also, better to go and contact the doctor at the earliest, and should get what is called as a mammogram at around 35 years of age. Mammogram can detect the cancers. So what are the symptoms of breast cancer? So if you have the breast cancer, there will be new lump in the breast or underarm, that is in the armpit, and thickening or swelling of the part of the breast. So there will be harsh roughness of the skin of the breast, and there may be irritation and dimpling of the breast skin, and redness and flaky skin in the nipple area, pulling of the nipple or retraction of the nipple, and pain in the nipple area, and also you may have nipple discharge other than the breast milk. So regular monthly breast self-examination is very much important. Regular visits to the doctor is important, especially when you have the family history, and discuss about the gene, how it is in the family, how it comes in the family, and what are the genes involved, and what can be done. All those things you can discuss. If the breast cancer runs in the family, the mammogram, as I said, mammogram at their early stage, around 35-40 years only. If there is family history, you should get mammogram done. And if BRCA1 gene which runs in the family, then if that is there, we have to talk to the genetic counselor. And if no history of breast cancer in the family, then do mammogram only after 40 years. The best is self-examination. So every month you should keep doing the self-examination of the breast. If there is if you feel any pea-sized nodule or anything, then contact the doctor and talk to the doctor. What are the lifestyle changes can be followed to reduce the risk of breast cancer? So if you eat healthy with a good amount of fruits and salads, vegetables, and if you exercise regularly, being cool, calm, stress-free life, laughing, singing, all this it will try to helps to secrete the positive hormones, so that can reduce the cancers, not only the breast cancer, any any cancers, because it will help to remove the genetic damages. So stay informed about this thing. Don't panic. If there is any problem, then contact the doctor. There is also something what is called as FNAC investigation, wherein they put on a small needle and again they will take a few cells from this nodule and they will study under the microscope to see whether there is a cancer or not cancer. So most important in breast cancer is to know whether you have family history of breast cancer or no, and self-examination, monthly self-examination is very important, and mammogram examination is either below 35 or above 35, depending on whether you have family history or no. So that is about the breast cancer. The last one which I want to talk is about the thyroid. As you all know, so thyroid is a butterfly shaped gland in the anterior neck. So this is a thyroid gland, what you see here. So this is the normal thyroid gland. So depending on how much or how little hormone your thyroid makes, you may feel restlessness or tired, or you may lose or gain weight. So if the gland is hypoactive, that means if it is not giving enough hormones, then you may put on weight and you may become very lethargic and hypoactive. But if the thyroid gland is secreting increased amount of hormone, then you may become very restless, you may lose weight, you may feel very hungry, you may get some tremors and all. Again, women are more likely than men to have thyroid diseases, especially after the pregnancy and menopause. Even the thyroid cancers are more common in women compared to men. That's why it's very important to know the thyroid diseases. And if you feel any swelling in front of the neck, like when it gets enlarged like this, and you may feel some nodule-like appearance as it's shown here. Again, thyroid diseases can be endemic in certain parts of the world, and especially in those who do not get enough iodine in their diet. Especially, this is common in high altitudes or in Himalayan or mountain belts. It's very common because they will have reduced iodine content in their food, and it's a little less compared to sea level people. Again, if there is any enlargement of the thyroid, you can, if you feel, you can go to the doctor and get it checked by ultrasound examination, or even what is called as FNAC, wherein again they will put a small needle, a very small needle, it doesn't pain it. They will put the needle and take some cells and they will study whether it is cancer or no. Especially in women, cancer is more compared to men, especially when it is a small nodule like this, lemon-sized nodules. If you see it, peanut-sized or lemon-sized nodules, immediately go to the doctor and get tested either by ultrasound examination or FNAC, what is FNAC examination. That's what is a needle aspiration. Through needle, they will take out few cells and they will study. So these are all the precautionary methods which you have to do it during pregnancy, during puberty and reproductive age groups. So these are all the most common conditions and diseases which affect females usually. Looking after yourself is very important. Knowing about these conditions is also very important, because when you know it, you can go and talk to the doctor. You can do relevant examinations, studies. You can do lab findings, lab studies. You can do, and after know, and you can know what is the condition, and can be get treated. So that's why we always say prevention is better than cure. So not only prevention, early detection is also very much important, especially in cases of cancer and. So if you detect the cancer in earlier stages, when it is small only, then the surgery is very helpful. It will not grow and it will not go into stage 2 or 3 or 4, and you will have a very long survival like a normal man. So that's the importance of knowing these conditions and doing self-examination and consulting the doctors appropriately to lead a healthy life. So I hope you all will know about these conditions which are more prevalent in women, and take appropriate care and precautions. Thank you.